Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another weekend of racing here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. I talked about it last night, how excited I was for this coming weekend because we've got plenty of stakes action here, including a couple of OSS Golds here that are going to headline this evening's card. But of course, tomorrow night is the Heavy Stakes Saturday, and back to join me for all the commentary and analysis is going to be my Hall of Fame co-host Randy Waples, and you and I both recharged and getting ready to go here.
Well, I did.
You got a good chance to recharge. I got some good sleep last night. I'm charged up today.
Well, last I saw you, were at the Blue Jay game.
Yep, it was a great time. Great time at the Blue Jays game. Thrilling comeback there, getting the draw. I think it was a 9-8. So
You're doing some cheering?
Yeah, doing some cheering. Yeah, always good to see a pretty exciting game.
Yeah.
And that was an exciting game. So it's been a fun week. Took advantage of the day off. And now we get to talk some high-quality stakes action.
I like the weather. Mm-hmm. Like everybody likes to be warm, but sometimes it's a little too warm, and I don't like to be cold. This is just about perfect. Good racing weather, too.
It's sweater weather now.
Yeah,
right?
it's perfect.
It's not, like you said, not too hot. You have to wear a layer or two, but still, it's nice. It's relaxing. So, it's great weather. I think we're going to see some great action as well. And I'm sure the guys like competing in this kind of weather as well.
Did they have the dome open the other night?
They did have the dome open. Just a nice cool breeze there. Just missed a foul ball by this much.
No, did you?
By this much.
Have you caught them before?
I've caught one once, barehanded years ago. Actually,
Wow.
I actually caught one barehanded. Couldn't feel my thumb for 3 weeks. Yeah. I was with my dad. He was sleeping at the game.
Really?
And he woke up to the applause of me catching the ball. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I guess baseball he don't find too entertaining.
Yeah,
That's it,
you go. But
it was a good, fun moment. It's always good to be at the ballpark when the Jays are crushing. I mean, they're first place in the AL East, and it's going to be fun to watch some October baseball this year.
Do you think Sam would ever want to bet the runners running the bases?
Oh, that might intrigue him.
Yeah,
that might intrigue him.
Little prop bet there.
I think so.
Who can get from second to third the quickest?
Speaking of which, we should get some prop wagers in racing. I think that would be.
I think it would be
that
too.
That would spice things up.
Even
a bit.
just something like trainer with the most wins, driver with the most wins, horse with the fastest first quarter tonight.
Listen,
that kind of stuff.
There's so many wagering opportunities in sports, and the creativity of that. I mean, I don't see why we can't apply that to racing as well. Like you said, you look at a driver's, a driving slate throughout the card and make a prop wager on over/under if you how many wins they got on a card, or I don't know, some other stuff. But I'm sure there's ways to get a little bit more creative potentially.
When I was driving, it could have been a prop bet on whether or not I get into it with the judges or not.
Okay.
That could have been a heck of a prop bet. Is he going to get through the night where he's not mad at the judges?
Is that were you favored on yes or under a favorite?
Oh, definitely
on no?
favored.
Yes. I'd say I'd have a pretty good feeling about that. All right, so we're gonna touch on the action that we saw last night. As I touched on every night, we are going to get a chance to look at how this chart reads. And we saw a little bit of everything last night, though, Randy. I mean, we saw a lot of ones, as we normally do, but we did see some horses coming off the pace, especially that Chantel Mitchell first-timer. I'm drawing is it Show Me Your Money Deo? I'm drawing a blank on the name.
It was definitely a Deo.
Was able to sweep the field and get the job done.
She's had a big week.
Yeah, big week. For her,
had a gold and a grassroots win up in Ottawa the other night, and horses are racing good here tonight, and I think I might have her down to win either tonight or tomorrow as well.
A Garnet Barnsdale top selection last night that paid $48. I think it was a good attempt to take a shot in a field that maybe is a little bit camera shy in that spot, right? Mm-hmm. So, nice job there by that first timer getting the job done. And
it's not a bad graphic, though.
No.
Not compared to what we were seeing earlier.
Saw a little bit of variety in that spot as well, though. But, we're going to see how that... I could see a lot of ones, especially in those gold races potentially tonight, because I think There's going to be some heavy chalk in there, and deservedly so. I mean, we've got some standouts here provincially, I'd say.
Yeah, we do. You know, just the whole matter of it's going to come down to is anybody going to want to take them on?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to take them on the first quarter, but then if, you know, after that, then it seems like they can get a really cheap middle half. How are you going to beat them?
Well, even then, do you have the gears to beat them?
That's the thing,
right?
You know. It doesn't do you any good sacrificing yourself.
No, absolutely. And we'll get a chance to look at those divisions as well later on. But we're going to dig into this Friday night 10-pack. We've got 10 tonight, 12 tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to this 10-pack. I like this card tonight.
I do too. I really like tonight's and tomorrow's.
And we're going to kick things off here in race number 1, and we've got some 2-year-old trotting colts here, a field of 10, and the current 2-1 favorite is going to be the 6-horse Halton Hill. And you know, things didn't work out last time out in that 2-year-old open, but this is a trotter that Bob Young is going to send out that I think, despite just 1 win in 5 tries and 2 on-the-board finishes, I think he's raced well this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been facing some tough company, and this is only going to be third start on Lasix. The second start which is usually my angle, is the replay that we're going to show you in that 2-year-old Open. And I thought it was a good one, and I love the job that Tetrick did with him, left him down on the inside, didn't do too much, and I think that he's really, really going to respond big time. So let's take a look at this guy. He's a couple of times he's really showed us some real ability with Scotty and Bob Young, and then other times, it's just kind of But his last 2 starts, he's been locked in on the inside both starts. This one too. Look at the shoulders back on Timmy. And this guy wants at it. Like even a couple of times there, it looked like he was just going to pop right out of his skin there, clicking into gear. So I thought he had good movement right here. I think that if Scotty kind of races him more or less the same kind of way, there could be some big improvement on the Lasix angle, and the fact that he's not going to be racing in his toughest company as what he's had to face.
Much different group, like you said, this week versus last week. I think there's a couple of trotters that intrigue us in this spot, but he's one that is going to merit a lot of respect here at the windows. We'll get back to Halton Hill because we want to touch on this effort from this Ben Bearjean trainee last time out, Sendika, one that you loved, and I believe we saw a bridle change that evening too.
Yeah, we did. This guy was really, really kind to me that day. Come up with a huge win, and just look at the way that he's doing it too. Nice gated kind of a horse, and Billy Davis going to come back. Now this week I got this guy in for 3rd. Biggest reason is the rail. I'm not 100% sure what they're going to do with the rail, whereas Halton Hill, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to get there. Again, this guy I think will only improve off of that. The biggest reason why I liked him last week was because the fact that he did show some golds. Benoit knows his horses very well. He put this horse in a gold, and it didn't work out for him, but obviously he thought that the level of talent was there, and then now, he's back again. Has a nice win in his last one there. I think that a lot goes his way. South Winchester's going to be tough in here as well. I got him in for 2nd, but Halton Hill. Now, the 8 horse, Nixon, Bixon, Mixon, whatever. I'm sounding like a guy that I used to know. Whatever. Nixon Bixon. Not really sure what Nixon Bixon was doing last week, John. I know he was out there, and I know his legs were moving, but I'm not 100% sure at all times if they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. So even though he was incredibly impressive durability-wise, did not really like the gait that much. I kind of thought there was a couple of times that maybe he was pacing what he should have been trotting and trotting what he shouldn't have been pacing. And the problem with him is that he's so good at it. He's like the Marcelito Polmoy of racing. He can switch from pace to trot and back forth, and you don't even know he's doing it. Maybe it's just the way that he goes, but wasn't really my cup of tea. So Nixon Bixon, going to throw him in for 4th. I'm hoping that Dagfin has him maybe looking a little bit better, but the ability, I think, is there.
Some funky movement for sure, but again, he's got some go, and he was able to put forth a pretty good effort despite missing a month from his qualifying tries. But again, I got a chance to speak to Dagfin prior to that career debut, and he was ready to race. He was in to go. It's just that wasn't able to find a spot for him. So, he's back in to go after a couple of weeks here in this spot, and he's one that I'm going to use on my pick 5 tickets. Now, Halton Hill, you saw in that replay, though, he's had a tendency in some starts prior as well, just put in a little bit of a funky step. I got a chance to speak to Scott Young as well as Bob Young as well, and he just interferes a little bit. That Murphy blind change, do you think that's going to make a difference for him if he maybe kind of runs out a little bit? Is that going to help him prevent himself from interfering potentially?
It could, but I don't see that. To me, he's straight when he's interfering. He's not on a line crooked or anything. He's straight. What I saw was that he was a horse that wanted to go forward, and he was in a situation where he couldn't, and Timmy had to keep him doubled up. And I think that that's why every once in a while that little extra step would come into play, is because he probably is interfering, but only because he's got so much go. So hopefully, tonight he's a little bit cleaner.
He's going to take a lot of support in this spot, deservedly so. And again, to your point, just coming off a brave effort where he should be able to kind of take another step forward here tonight.
Will the 8 horse go off as favorite?
I don't know, actually. I think the 6 will go off as the favorite. I think just a better draw to work with. He's coming off a race with tougher company, but the 8's going to take a lot of support too. All right, there's our thoughts there in race number 1 as we kick off the $75,000 early pick 5, and we're going to add another change here. There's going to be a scratch here in race number 2. The 5-4 Century Montana is going to be a vet sick. there in race number 2. So we're going to be scratched down to a field of 6 there. We're going to move on to race number 3 here, and we're going to move on to that OSS Gold that we were talking about. And we spoke about a couple of standouts here provincially. A Clean Deal's been nothing but that. I mean, just a perfect 4 for 4. She's beaten some very quality fillies in doing so as well. You know, had a qualifier in between, just in between these gold tries, Randy, just to keep herself sharp. But I don't even know, you know, we were talking off camera. I just don't even know if we've seen her bottom just yet.
I don't think we have. And listening to McNair's interviews, I don't know if he's kind of sensed the bottom just yet either. I think that he's, very, very happy with what she's doing in here. And she's going to be my top pick. Now, obviously the qualifier was a good one, kind of get her back into the mojo. But let's take a look at the August 14th line, John, because this is basically going to show us Jay, Gentili, A Clean Deal, and TH Check Me Out.
Yep.
It's going to check a lot of boxes, this one. So if any of those horses are the ones that you're looking for, they're all in this replay. But I'm focusing on A Clean Deal myself. She's going to be the eventual winner in here for McNair, and that's going to be her lifetime best so far in 150 flat. And where she kind of gives me chills is at this point here, she's not working at it. A lot of people would say, oh, she's not working at it. She's just doing what Dougie's asking her to do. And I think that's why Dougie's a little bit giddy with this one, because she just went, in that situation, she just went a mile in 150, and there's an easy half a second left in there. And I don't know too many 2-year-old pacing fillies, OSS, that we've had up here that are sub 50 pacers. So she's kind of a new thing for me. Not really sure exactly how we're going to, progress from here. But what I will say too, that I really also like about her too, and if, you guys are listening to me out there, she's my kind of breed. She's a cattle wash, but out of a Western Ideal mare. And that means that the longevity, in my opinion, will be there, and she will only get more powerful and more faster as she gets older. We could be seeing a potential superstar here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to see a sub 50 mile tonight per se, or even a mile faster than what we saw in that most recent victory. She worked out a pretty good trip. She was following a filly who was setting some pretty quick speed. I think this is a situation where everybody's going to want to just, kind of work out a trip behind her and see if they can out-sprint her. But, I mean, Dougie's had to use her a couple of times. You can even look back at a few starts ago. It looked like she wasn't going to get room up the inside. She still got it, still had plenty left. I mean, just being used multiple times in the mile, still having so much go. You heard, Rob Fellows talking about it, just average, training down, but she's been far better than that so far in her career.
Well, I mean, LA Delight is one of the best two-year-old pacing fillies that I've ever drove. And I remember Bob telling me, when I was bragging her up to him after the baby races, he said, I got 4 fillies out here that can beat her. And I'm like, whoa, send them down. But they couldn't. She didn't want to do anything in the morning, typical Bettor's Delight. And then at night, when the lights came out and the starting gate was on there, she was just straight racehorse. So nice little quality for this one to have in here right now. What's your thoughts on Gentili? Because in my opinion, she's kind of really starting to become a bit of a now kind of filly. And she's coming into this race with a much better rotation than some of the other ones.
A great victory in the Eternal Cam Nation there, right? But she was inching closer to a victory. Again, it's tough being some of these provincial fillies or provincial colts, when you have to line up on the gate and put forth good efforts, but you're taking on the likes of Dea and A Clean Deal, right? I mean, we've got a couple of really, really nice fillies, and same way on the colt side. I mean, we see Till the Cows Come Home racing. He hasn't put forth a bad effort, but you're going up against Bojangles, who just looks like a little tougher at this point on. So no, Gentili, that was a great effort. Yannick really stretched her out last time out and gave her a nice confidence boosting mile. And again, a filly who has looked good in each and every one of her starts, but you've got to find a bit more against some of these other ones if you want to get a trip to the winner's circle.
This is it, but at some point it would be interesting to see Gentili line up on A Clean Deal's back, and then see what happens then.
Naughty Delight, another filly who's got speed.
This is a good race.
Nice group that we have here. We're going to move on to race number 4 here in this spot. We've got some more rookie pacers here. 2-year-old Colton Geldings, maiden, non-owners of 2 event, I should say here. A nice group of 8 that we have here. And a horse that we liked last time out in Major Mickey. He put forth a pretty nice effort there for trainer Ben Hollingsworth, and I like him right back in the spot. What say you?
Same.
All right.
You talk about him, because I'm the same as you. I mean, both of us, we got this replay to show from last week, and basically you can see that he won I just kind of wanted to show you how he won, and I think that that's why you were attracted to him too. It's the way that he did it.
Absolutely.
So let's go with this guy. We both really, really like this guy in his last start, because the start before that, that first Lifetime one, he was flying on the end of it to finish third.
I think this is the start prior, though, not to the victory. This is the start prior that we're highlighting here, when he flies home to be third in this spot. But to your point, Randy, that most recent victory, I mean, he worked out a nice trip. But there was another horse that James was aboard, a Rob Fellows trainee. Can't remember, I think he's in later on in the program as well. He was motoring nicely coming home as well. But we saw that in the qualifying effort with this son of Always Be Mickey. When a horse gets up alongside of him, he fights.
He does.
And you know what I mean? It looked like James's charge worked out a pretty nice trip in that victory prior.
All the right places.
Yeah, all the right places. And, you know, a lot of horses with similar trips, if they've got some go, which he did, they'll go right by. But Major Mickey, he's got some fight in him. He likes to fend off horses, and he's got speed to follow up with that as well. So this is a really nice colt that Ben Hollingsworth trains. I know it was only a maiden victory last time out, but I think he's got more than that in the tank. I think this is a nice colt, and he's got plenty of reason to be excited.
I agree. And, you know, both those horses that he beat last week, they're both racing very, very well right now, all the right places, and Ryder Ross. So
one that we're going to hope can get his picture taken yet again. But, you know, some other ones I'm intrigued with here as well. Winsun Tuxedo from the outside. I mean, a colt who hasn't put forth a poor effort this year as well.
No, really, really good efforts with him as well. And Twinbee Stanley, this is the horse that's been racing against, you know, State Company and putting up good efforts as well. He's going to be interesting in here as well. And then Call Sign Rooster, you know, another one there. Had a nice win here, but then, you know, followed it up with a fifth in the Nassauguea, but now dropping back down into a non-winners of two, a little easier company.
I would say. I think that gold was maybe just a little bit too tough, but you could see Travis Collin. I mean, he moved him early in that victory, two starts back, you know, kind of stretched them out some, and, you know, he put forth a pretty good mile. So I think that effort two back really stacks up well with this group, but you and I hoping that Major Mickey can be a repeat player in race number 4. We're going to move on to race number 5, and this closes out the early pick 5. We've got more rookie pacers here of the colt variety as well.
This is an interesting,
very, very interesting race, and I think you know, wide open race though too. I know Ryder Ross is installed as the morning line favorite. I don't think he's going to go off as the favorite, quite frankly.
No.
I do think that
he's racing good though.
Racing good. I think a horse like All the Right Places is going to take support. I think a horse like Odds on Bullfrog is going to take some support as well. There's a horse in here that you'd love to highlight, and he hasn't hit the board in a couple of tries. What did you see in those efforts, and who's that going to be?
Well, the horse that I like tonight is going to be Evans Legacy for, you know, Lyle MacArthur and Bob McClure. You know, his first start on August the 8th there, he suffered some interference at the head of the lane, but my goodness, were the wheels ever strong that night. He flew home, and then he missed a couple of weeks. 14 days, 2 weeks to be exact. And then he comes back, what I consider to be another big effort. But this time, things really kind of take a wrong turn. Now, we kind of want to show this replay twice, don't we, John? Because you're looking at a different one. So the one that I want you to highlight right now is the 7 horse, driven by McClure. His name's Evan Legacy, and I think that this guy has got some serious go on the end of it. Now, look at Bobby's already looking for room. He's not asking him, but he's looking for the room so that when he does ask him, it's there. And you can see this guy's got some go. And now, again, you know, he tap, takes a hold of him. Tap, takes a hold of him. He got no place to go, and this guy is ready to apply it. Nowhere to go. So I like him in here tonight. I think that he could come up with a big effort. This is a cattle wash out of a Big Jim mare, and absolutely huge fan of the barn that this guy comes in. Take it away, John.
All right, a nice effort there by Evans Legacy to be 7th in that contest, but I'm going to look at Doc Moore trainee here in this spot, odds on Bullfrog, and he's starting from the rail in that start prior, and you can see him there highlighted. Another horse who had a troubled trip. I mean, Louis got him 3rd on the inside there in that spot, and it just looks like he's got a pretty good hold on this Doc Moore trainee, and just hoping for racetrack at the head of the lane, and he comes off the inside because you know, Jody's charge is occupying the rail in that spot, and he's looking for a seam. He's hoping for a seam, and this is the Major Mickey replay though. This is the victory that we were talking about, where he was able to fend off James. But look who's got horse in behind him,
and he's going right with him.
He's going right, like, all over Trevor's helmet. Louis got a pretty good hold on him as well, and this is a horse that was going forward. So you know, I think a horse that's going to take some support in this spot. I'm going to make him my all-in here tonight and hope that he can get the job done. I like the effort at Kawartha Downs in a grassroots try 2 starts back. Some other horses that I'm obviously intrigued with. One being obviously the one that you're going to peg as a top player, Evans Legacy, your top pick in the spot, correct?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued with him. Just think Odds On Bullfrog might be ready for a more aggressive approach or aggressive mile in this spot tonight per se, but both colts that I think we're backing in this spot coming off some sneaky good efforts.
Completely agree. Who generates the most support? I say the 7.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think
I
he'll go
agree.
off as the race favorite in this spot.
Now, what about the 1 horse? Because if people were paying attention there, we're showing you the 1 horse at the back of the pack for Tyler Borth and Jack Darling. Jody going to be jumping up on him. He's drove him a couple of times. Already had a win with him at Grand River Raceway. Had the 9-hole last week, Ticket Station, John. It looked like Tyler kept trying to get him involved in the race, but it just wasn't working out. But on the end of it, I kind of thought that the horse that I liked and the horse that you liked were kind of the more liver of the two, although Ticket Station did race well.
Did race well, and to your point, Jody going to be back aboard, who engineered a winning steer at Grand River, and you have to figure that from the rail he's going to try and get this guy involved. But I like the way he finished, but to your point, just like the way a few others finished a little bit better. I thought maybe should have had a little bit. He had some good pop, but given the trip, I thought maybe he'd have a little bit more late.
I agree, and I kind of thought maybe last week there, not as much the first turn, but I kind of thought around the last turn he was maybe struggling a little bit.
One that I'm going to take a wait and see approach on, the 9-horse Solar Voltage, making his career debut, coming off a trio of qualifying efforts. I think this one, has got some ability, and one that I want to just kind of see. I just don't know what kind of trip we're going to work out from the outside here, with a lot of horses maybe leaving to his inside. So one that I just kind of want to monitor for next time.
Well, I would have to guess that somebody likes him quite a bit there if they could entice Greek Jr. there to jump up behind one with the pacing hobbles on.
No
he doesn't drive too many pacers anymore, so I'm guessing that he likes this one pretty good.
All right, we're excited for that race as well. A nice way to close out that early pick 5. And we're going to move on to race number 7, and we've got some more rookies, some 2-year-old pacing fillies in this spot. We've got a field of 7. And, I found it intriguing or interesting. Louis Waugh having his choice on a couple of pacers in this spot.
Lots of them.
Opted to go to P&G Shadow over Lavender Sealster, who, put forth a pretty nice mile last time out, winning in 52-1. He's going to opt to go to P&G Shadow, who worked out a nice trip last time out, but just didn't appear to have much pop in that mile. But I like a couple others in here, or I'm intrigued with a couple others in this spot. I mean, Cold Creek Cali is going to be stepping up from a maiden. She tried a prospect 2 back. I mean, I think she could be competitive against this group. I pegged her as a top player here in the spot. What about you?
I went right to the top.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to put her up on top. We're going to take a look at the replay for Cold Creek Cali. And this is a Waples watch. Big thing is you can see up in Georgian, she was a wire-to-wire winner and a prospect, for Dougie and Tim Gillespie, 27-3 on the end of it. Now, we're showing you this. She had the 9-hole to get to this spot, but we're showing you this for the same reason why I show you other replays sometimes when it's quite easy to see what she did on the program. It's the way she does it. I really, really like the way that she did this. To me, she had lots left in the tank. Anytime Dougie asked her, she would power up again, but yet then she would come back to him. Just a really, really nice, smart kind of a horse. Very comfortable, easy winner in there. And she had some nice ones in against her, too. Talbot Kristen, who I've always been a bit of a fan of, and Savor the Moment, who, again, kind of a good fan. I think that they're both quality fillies. So Cold Creek Cali, I think she can double up.
And Savor the Moment, coming off that effort with a victory there the following start. And again, Talbot Kristen went off as the race favorite, has got some late speed. I mean, if you froze the race at the head of the lane, you figured that Talbot Kristen would just go right by because she's got some late speed. Dougie's charge looked pretty comfortable there. So I know she started off, or she raced in a prospect a couple starts back, but I think this is a really good test for her to step up against some fillies who are of the gold variety, right? Biggest wild card for me. Bet's a Bet I thought looked better last time out.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about her maybe struggling to pace a little bit in those starts prior. She stayed pacing. Looked like Scott Young still kind of had to steady her a little bit. Looked like she was still running in. But I like the way she was moving late in the mile. She still fended off a couple of other horses to secure that runner-up position.
Yeah, agreed. I think that she is really starting to get a little bit better, too. I got her in for second, had her down as okay on end. The one that I think that could go off, and if somebody can hit this one, where you might be able to make a little bit of money, I wouldn't discount the 7-horse in here, this CJ Desby. This horse has been racing really, really well. And I think, 8-1 morning line, I don't think you're going to get that. But kind of flying under the radar with a lot of talent, I think.
a confidence-boosting score last time out. I mean, she got looked in the eye in that effort at Georgian in a grassroots try. And J.R. Plant and this Jack DuPont trainee, put them away. So this is a filly who has raced well, even on the big track, and one that you've highlighted multiple times.
Yeah, she's always faced tough company and always given a really, really good account of herself.
Lavender Sealster, though, if she paces, she is going to be tough to beat, I'd say, as well. That was a good effort last time out, but Paul McKenzie, done a good job with her over at the B track, sitting behind her at Grand River in those Battle of the Bells tries. So this is one that, he's got familiarity with, one that, he's going to be looking for another good performance here from this filly as well. We spoke about the 1 gold division. We're going to look at the other gold division here for the 2-year-old pacing colts.
Which way are you going, John?
And all eyes are going to be on the 1-horse Bo Jangles, and it's tough to look past his direction in this spot. Really nice group of colts. I mean, Till the Cows Come Home has raced really well each and every start. I've been so impressed with Redland Rocket Man. I know he hasn't beaten the gold group just yet, but I mean, again, last time out, he didn't pick up a position at the head of the lane, or he was 4th, I should say, in that effort. And we're going to get a chance to see how well he was moving late in the mile. But it was Bo Jangles who just continues to look so professional in his victories.
This is the best gold that I've seen in a very, 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 very long time, John. There's a case to be made for every single horse in this race, but Bo Jangles, I mean, he's just doing it and making them like it. So I can't get away from him right now. That's the way that I'm going to go in here. But Redland Rocket Man, I got him in for 3rd. You're going to see him, making a big move for Louis on the outside with him. And Till the Cows Come Home, I'm looking at him as second best right now. He seems to be the most consistent, where he's either 1st or 2nd every week. So I got him back in there. And then I threw Windor in on the bottom. This is another horse, lightly kind of raced, but I like what he does. And, outside of the gate a little bit, but he's got the right kind of a driver on him, McNair. The outside of the gate don't bother Dougie. So, I mean, he wants to put him into play. He's going into play.
It's the one time he didn't fit or hit the board, I should say. He made a miscue off the gate 2 starts back. I mean, another colt who's been racing super consistent. You could say that about so many of them here in the spot.
Everyone.
They're just all 2nd or 3rd best to a colt right now who looks just looks special. I mean, simply put, just looks special. And another quality colt that Doc Moore has got in his barn, and we look forward to seeing what he can do the rest of his rookie campaign and beyond that. So, yeah, nice group that we've got. I'm looking forward to this gold as well.
A horse that I think that's in this race, and we didn't talk too much about him, and we haven't or whatever, but I think he's a horse you may want to keep a close eye on, is this 9-horse, Elmer Hanover. Is this guy ever starting to come around really good? And it's just another one that Paul Reed's been off to a fantastic season. Boy, oh boy, does he ever got some power.
He's got to be pleased with the youngsters he's got in his barn.
Yes.
And even a couple of his other aged horses kind of coming along as well. What About Elmo? Flirty Dancer, I believe, is in the pop-up series final on Monday night. So, I mean, she's racing well. She's looking to, I think, sweep it potentially as well. So, yeah, he's having a good goal this year, and he's got plenty to be intrigued with his stock. We're going to move on to that's our thoughts on this early, or this 10-pack, I should say, races that we've highlighted. We're going to look at that early pick 5 and look at some different ticket ideas. And you are up here first in your early pick 5. Boy, you weren't kidding. You were really intrigued with race 5, but you still had some difficulty handicapping it as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if I can get through the first 4 legs, John, I'm golden, because we're all in that last one. Starting it off in the with the 1 and the 6 in race number 1, fairly logical. Sendica and Halton Hill going to be my 2 top ones in there. I mean, it's going to be tough to get through this first leg, because again, there's a lot of different ways you can go there. Maybe I should have been a bit more heavier on it. But in race number 2, I'm going to single Horse with a Plan. Okay. There's a scratch of the 5-horse in there. Race number 3, it's going to be a single of a Clean Deal. Hoping that the win streak continues. Race number 4, Major Mickey, hoping that he's going to be able to come back. And then I'm all in race number 5. I think that this race, you can go a gazillion different ways in here, but my top pick is going to be Evans Legacy.
I completely agree with you there on the early pick 5 sequence. I just opted to go 2 singles. I went all in on a Clean Deal. And I went 3 deep in races 1, 2, and 4. I like Major Mickey, but I think some other ones that we've highlighted have a good chance to put forth some pretty good efforts as well. But I'm going to go all in on Odds On Bullfrog in the finale. Hope that he maybe can respond off that kind of trip. I know he's likely going to be raced aggressively after wanting racetrack last time out, but just got to hope that he's got enough left late in the stretch. So a couple of singles for me in that early pick 5. I think I took the same route in that late pick 5, going with a couple of singles. as well. All right, we spoke on some early pick 5 ticket ideas here in the spot. We're also going to preview again what's going to be a busy slate tomorrow night on the racing side. We've got some other stuff going on tomorrow that we'll touch on momentarily as well, but we've got more golds tomorrow. And we've got some golds for the 3-year-old pacing colts, and we've got 2 divisions, and I know you're excited to see 5th and 5 step up again and go back into the gold level.
Yeah, I am for sure. You know, I think this is a really, of the 2 divisions, I think he drew the easier of the 2. And I think that he is, you know, I always said that to me, he was about a half length short of being a gold colt. And I think this year, with his confidence and the way that he's been racing and the fact that he hasn't been overdone, I think he's going to have a huge appearance on Saturday night.
Backup Plan's been racing pretty well too, and Control Rocks, I think, is probably going to be the one to beat, given that he has a couple of gold victories to his name, and he might be able to work out an easier trip if he's got things his own way in that spot. But there's a couple of standouts here in this second division. All-Star Maniac looking to make amends after hooking wheels last time out, and you know, obviously not delivering as a heavy choice, just unlucky in that spot. Obviously, he's got a tendency to run in, and I mean, that's what happens sometimes when you go full gear. But he's got some speed, Randy. Yeah,
sometimes the wheels aren't very big, and other times they're big, and that was one of those times where, you know, James just couldn't avoid it.
And a crack shot, obviously, coming back from a couple of nice tries in Kentucky, looking to get back into the winner's circle here provincially. But our headliners tomorrow are going to be the Maple Leaf Trot as well as the Canadian Pacing Derby, and we'll highlight the trotting feature here in this spot. Really nice group here. Eidos Kronos obviously is going to be installed as the morning line favorite off a historic mile. You and I both like Periculum, and Marcus Melander got I read an article that he got a chance to talk about his charges coming into tomorrow night, said that he figured Periculum just needed a start. You know, obviously hadn't raced in a little bit and hasn't had as many races as maybe some other horses in this H trotting division. And, you know, he just said he'll be sharper tomorrow night.
That's exactly. He just didn't look sharp the other night. He didn't look bad, but he just didn't really seem to have any glow to him either.
Hope to catch up with him before tomorrow night's program to maybe get an update if there's going to be any shoeing changes, especially because when he goes barefoot in the U.S., I mean, he is really, really tough to beat. So I wonder if they're going to do anything in that regard with the shoeing heading into that final. The Canadian Pacing Derby, I mean, we had By the Missile, who equaled the Canadian track record in 146-4 last time out. He's going to be the one to beat, but I mean, it's not unfamiliar territory for him to be a favorite here in this marquee pacing event. We saw that being the case a couple years ago when Tattoo Artist played Minor Spoiler. But this is a really nice group of pacers, Randy.
It is a really, really good group here. You know, I mean, McNair made a big difference with Ruthless Hanover, I think. I think that horse raced big. It's unfortunate in a way that he gets the rail, because even though if he can punch his way out of there, it's just so much easier to do it from, say, the 4 to the 7, 8 in that area.
Stylistically, the way he races, I just don't like the inside draw for him in that spot.
Neither.
But I love the way he fought last time out.
He did.
You know, Louis kind of alluded to it in the interview, and it's what we've seen from this H pacer from so many starts. Either he's going to keep going or he's going to come kind of to a stop. I think those efforts where he's been racing off the pace leading up to that elimination, I think that really helped him kind of, you know, hit a reset button. It's tough to race one way each and every time.
It is, yeah. I'm interested to see what Sabonis is going to do.
Big time. Can't imagine another first over trip, can you?
Not thinking of that, you know.
All right, you know, the Simcoe here for 3-year-old trotting colts as well, and the 2 names that we're going to be focused in on. I mean, there's some nice talent here, especially some horses that we've seen have success here provincially. But Emoticon Legacy, he's coming off a runner-up effort in the Beal. We're going to see the return of Maryland here in this spot, and we remember what he did as a rookie here on Canadian soil.
Yeah, and you know where I think that Maryland could really, really explode when he comes up here? So many times I've seen horses, you know, when they're down in the States, it's always hot. The air quality's not as good as what it is up here. Then they come up here this time of the year where it's cool nights, they get good sleeps, you know, the whole deal. It's just like a different atmosphere for them, and sometimes some of them just explode, and I think that this could be, you know, Maryland, and he's going to have to, because, you know, Emoticon Legacy lives, you know, 15 minutes from here. So this is a nice little easy ship for him.
Absolutely, and we're going to look at some 3-year-old trotting fillies as we look at this division of the Simcoe here. Morning line favorite's going to be our Duchess, but, you know, some other fillies who have really stepped up their game and find themselves in this Grand Circuit event. Lasting Dream's going to take support again, you know, as she fell to Dexter Dunn and Domenico Cetre's charge. How about Supergirl Molly showing up in this Grand Circuit event here? added Lasix 2 back, Randy. She's looked like a much different filly since then.
She has, no doubt about that. Racing really, really well. And she always did look like she had the ability, right? You know, she had the size, she was athletic, but she just wouldn't finish her miles. Now, since Lasix, now she's finishing her miles, and all the other components are still there.
I was curious to see which direction Trevor would go to between Supergirl Molly and Green Glider. He's opting to go to the Scott McEnany trainee, who, when she can piece it together, we know she's got speed. It looked like early on this season she was going to be, the top 3-year-old trotting filly. We haven't seen that same consistency over her last few tries, but she's got the talent and the speed if she can put it all together.
I agree with you too, and obviously a big vote of confidence there if Trevor's going to side that one.
All right, so we spoke about some other stuff taking place tomorrow. I know we've got some big headliners here on the racing side, but come on out before that card starts and enjoy a few hours of some Mohawk family fun here. It's going to be Mohawk Family Community Day and sponsored by Millar Farms and KOSA as well. Of course, activities include pony and sulky rides, some crafts for kids, a magic show, free t-shirts, hot dogs, and plenty more. So, come on out before, enjoy what's going to be a fun day, and just make it a whole day affair. Just come during the day and stay for some really quality racing at night, because and a good way to kick off a long weekend, I'd say.
Absolutely. And the weather, like we were saying, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's just going to be a beautiful day.
Yeah, save the CNE for Sunday.
Yes,
come to Mohawk on the Saturday. Enjoy what's going to be a very, very fun day. All right. There's our look through the course of the weekend as well, a little bit of a preview to what's in store for tomorrow night. But we've also got plays of the night to highlight. And Randy, you are up first.
Okay, so Worth a Look is going to come along in race 5, and that's going to be Evans Legacy. Beat the Fade, Win Sun Charlotte in race number 6. Waples Watch, Cold Creek Cali in race number 7. I got quite a little spread going there, John. I got my own pick 3. And then in my all-in is going to be Yoda Queen in race number 9.
All right, a lot of different kind of variety there with selections as well. A lot of horses that I don't think will take plenty of support as well. My all-in's going to be Odds On Bullfrog in race number 5. My best bet's going to be Bonhomie Hanover. I thought that was a nice effort by that filly last time out. The spot play better not mock me, hoping for a easier trip last time out.
This is a couple weeks you've used this one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think just a little bit too quick last time out, and she takes a bit of a drop. And Worth a Look, Chief's Dream Girl, hoping she can work out a good trip. That's a wide open race in the finale as well.
She's drew right in the middle.
Absolutely. And plays of the night from some other resident handicappers. Garnet Barnsdale going Major Mickey as a spot play. You and I both like that. Doug Henwood, Evans Legacy, he's in agreement with you. And Ghislaine Paquette, Maiden Breaker. So we've got some 2v2 going on here in this spot. All right.
Looking for some bragging rights, John.
Absolutely. There's 3 minutes to go until we kickstart this 10-pack on a Friday night. As always, that kicks off the $75,000 guaranteed pick 5. Good luck.